The snow is here and we are tracking it. We have team coverage in place. We'll let you know what the rest of the night has in store and what tomorrow morning has in store as well coming up.
And I'm KIMT News 3's Caleb Gillock with what you need to know about parking.
And your team coverage is hitting the roads as well. KIMT News 3's Brooke McKivergan is in Storm Tracker 3 and will bring us the most up-to-date conditions throughout the newscast. KIMT News 3 at 10 starts right now.
KIMT News 3, coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3 at 10.
Snow has been falling in some parts of the area for a few hours now. Visibility is low, roads are slick, and there is still more snow on the way. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Katie Lang. Wasting no time, let's go to KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox for the latest on this winter storm. Sarah?
Well, thank you very much, Katie. Yes, the snow is blowing through and a lot of the heavier snow is still on the way. However, it's going to be lingering throughout the evening. This is a look right now at Storm Tracker 3. As you can see, a lot of us experiencing that light snowfall right now. Zooming out, you'll see where the heavier snow is. That's indicated in the darker blues as we speak, and that continues to make its way closer to our area. However, it is falling also just south of the viewing area. Now, all of this snowfall has put us under a winter weather advisory. This goes until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, just to tell you really kind of how long this event will be taking place. This is meaning that we're going to be seeing some very slick roads, even the possibility of blowing snow. It's very cold snow, so it's very light, fluffy. It's going to blow around quite a bit, still tracking around 2 to 5 inches of that snowfall. As for the DOT cameras, a lot of us seeing that snow on the road in southern Minnesota, plenty of roadways seeing that completely covered when it comes to the snowfall. And we've got plenty of people out on the roads taking a look at those conditions for you. That includes meteorologist Brandon Libby. He is live outside. Brandon, what can you tell us about the conditions?
Thank you so much, Sarah. Right now, I'm just off of I-90. I'm on a rest area on-ramp, and I'm about a mile east of I-35. You can actually see I-90 right behind me. You'll eventually see some cars passing. They are going very slow, as they should. As of 9 o'clock, I made my way from Mason City to Albert Lea. I saw 2 spinouts in that time period. Roads were very, very slick, and again, that was about an hour ago, so the road's likely worse than that. And you should be taking it slow if you're going to be doing any traveling. Here's what the roads look like right now. Through southern Minnesota, completely covered for everywhere except for around the Albert Lea area, just partially covered roadways according to the DOT. And then in North Iowa, we are seeing partially covered roadways in and around the Mason City area. The rest of North Iowa seeing wet roadways, but I'd be willing to bet that in town and on the less traveled roadways seeing some very, very slick conditions. Here's where the plows are, and this will only show where the North Iowa plows are. There's plenty in and around the area working to clear off the roadways, but again, we will continue to see some very slick conditions going into tomorrow morning, so do take it easy on the roadways. We do have KIMT News 3's Brooke McKivergan. She is live in Storm Tracker 3 in Rochester. Brooke, how are the roads looking for you?
Well, Brandon, I'm currently driving on Highway 52 South, where, as you can see, the conditions aren't great. The roads are slick. We're currently, again, on 52 South, where the speed limit is 60, and we're going about 45, 50 miles per hour, and we're not the only ones. Everyone's taking it slow, and rightfully so, because these roads are not looking the best. Even though I have already seen about 3 MnDOT snowplows out here, the Minnesota State Patrol has already reported several injury-related accidents just since 5 o'clock tonight, and we expect to get some detailed numbers tomorrow. I did just speak with the Minnesota Department of Transportation about an hour ago, and they're definitely prepared for this event. They tell me there are 102 plows in southeast Minnesota with 200 drivers who take turns on 12-hour shifts. Something to look out for this evening, they have a new tow plow that covers 2 lanes. So if you see this new plow, be sure to leave them plenty of room. These plows will stay out on the roads all night until the roads are clear, and I'm going to stay out here on the roads to watch these conditions for you. So for now, reporting live in Rochester, Brooke McKivergan, KIMT News 3.
Well, thank you very much, Brandon and Brooke. We're going to keep you updated throughout the newscast as well, but for now, sending things right back to Katie.
Well, as the snow continues to settle into the area, several cities have ordinances in place concerning where residents can and cannot park their cars during snowstorms. KIMT News 3's Caleb Gillock is live in Mason City with the details. Caleb?
Hey, thank you, Katie. That's right. Here in Mason City, there is such an ordinance in place, meaning that it's important to remember where you have parked your car. In the long run, it could mean that, or could prevent you from having to pay pricey parking tickets.
They're able to do their job safely, more efficiently.
It's beginning to look and feel a lot like winter in the River City, and snowplow drivers are hitting the streets.
Just got a plow on our truck. We're ready to hit the road.
And there's an ordinance in place in Mason City called alternate side parking.
Alternate side parking's a city code put into effect to assist cleaning the streets during a snowfall.
The Mason City administrator is the one who declares when the ordinance will be enforced, ultimately deciding where you can and can't park for the next 24 hours.
Between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. you can park on either side of the street. After 7 p.m. then you're expected to park on the street, on the side of the street for the next day. So for instance, if today is the 16th, after 7 p.m. tonight, you need to be on the odd side of the road because tomorrow is the 17th, an odd numbered day.
So what that means, since I have my vehicle parked on the even addressed side of the road, I have from 4 to 7 o'clock tonight to move my vehicle. And I can't move it back until 4 o'clock tomorrow. If I don't move my vehicle, I could face parking citations.
It's a parking ticket that costs $15.
While A&R Concepts is fairly new to the snow removal business, Ryan Havey says they have already found similar methods of working with parked vehicles in commercial lots.
We usually go at their shift changes. So we're getting there as one shift is leaving and get some spots cleared. The people know to park there, and then we do the rest of the lot when they're inside.
Now, the ordinance here in Mason City is in effect from November 15th through April 1st, and it is ultimately up to the Mason City City Administrator when that will be enforced. Live in Mason City, Caleb Gillock, KIMT News 3.
Thank you, Caleb. Here are some other cities sending out friendly reminders about parking tonight. Winter parking enforcement is in effect in Zumbrota. All vehicles need to be removed from the streets, also in West Concord. And if Eagle Grove gets more than an inch of snow, vehicles need to stay off the streets. As the weather gets cold and bodies of water start to freeze, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources wants to remind everyone how to stay safe while enjoying themselves out in the elements.
We know that new clear ice, we need 4 inches of that ice for foot traffic. And it's going to take many nights of cold weather to get up to that 4 inches at this point before we would recommend that it would be safe to travel out on those lakes.
And the Rochester Fire Department says we're right in the season for ice rescues. They have a training day coming up in December. But those with the department tell KIMT they are prepared for any rescue. And if you are not a trained professional, I don't advise you try and rescue someone in a frozen body of water yourself.
If you can reach something out to them, a tree branch, a pole, a tool of some kind, if they're close enough that you can reach them from dry land, that's great. Or if you have something that you can throw to them that could go out a little further, a rope or something to that effect that someone could grab onto and you could help pull them in. But we definitely recommend that if you see someone in distress in the water from going through the ice, that you don't go out there yourself.
Captain Knapp says the first thing you should always do is call 911. A look at how you can lend a hand to people in need across North Iowa. Plus, beautiful music is helping to raise awareness about homelessness in southern Minnesota. And as the snow continues to fall, KIMT teamed weather coverage continues, so you have what you need to know to stay safe out there.
Do you think Christmas music is starting a little too early? A look at how people feel about getting into the holiday spirit before Thanksgiving even arrives and the impact the music can have on our lives.
This is KIMT News 3 at 10. Coverage you can count on. Live from Rochester. Your local news with Katie Lang. Your Storm Team 3 weather with meteorologist Sarah Knox and chief meteorologist Tyler Roney. KIMT News 3. Coverage you can count on.
Homelessness is a growing issue in the North Iowa area. And now that the weather is getting colder, several nonprofit groups are looking to do their part and help. Tomorrow, the Salvation Army and the Friends of Our Family organization will be asking the public for donations. Those with the Salvation Army say during the winter months, they see those without a home coming in on a daily basis.
There's always a need for hygiene. There's always a need for food. There's just clothing. The people who, find themselves out in the streets, they need to make sure they have what they need to live.
Both of the groups will be collecting donations, non-perishable foods, hygiene products, and clothing at the Salvation Army tomorrow from 11 o'clock until 1 p.m. The National Center on Family Homelessness reports 2.5 million children are homeless every year in America, meaning 1 in every 30 kids are living without a roof over their heads this holiday season. Now, the community of Rochester is trying to tackle the issue at a local level by raising money for families in need. KIMT News 3's Isabella Basco reports.
This holiday season, Rochester residents are singing together to help homeless families in need.
I was so scared.
Heather Daniel knows what hard times are like. Just a few years ago, her husband lost his job, leaving her family without a place to live.
I have 5 children, and putting them on the street or having them have to sleep in our van, I felt like such a failure.
But a guardian angel came in the form of Family Promise, the only homeless shelter in Rochester that serves families.
They helped us so much. I'm in the process of maybe buying a house.
On average, Family Promise helps 600 families each year, and the giving continues during the holidays as musicians from all over southern Minnesota sing, spreading love and peace. Heather Daniel is now paying it forward by serving as a board member for Family Promise. Reporting in Rochester, Isabella Basco, KIMT News 3.
The community choir concert at Bethel Lutheran Church raised around $10,000 to help at least 30 families in need. Our team weather coverage continues. This is a live look in Rochester. We'll hear from a reporter about the road conditions after the break.
And we continue to track that snowfall as we get into the overnight hours. We'll let you know if it'll impact your commute there on Saturday if you have plans to travel right after this.
We track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3, weather coverage you can count on.
Welcome back, everyone. And we're ending the work week with a snowstorm moving through the area as we speak. Albert Lea starting to see some of the heavier snow moving into the area. You'll notice the rooftops now completely covered and the roadways are the same way. Unfortunately, Albert Lea was hanging on to those partially covered roads, but has since been updated over just the last couple minutes, and now we're seeing completely covered roadways really all across southern Minnesota. However, bits of 90 still just showing partially covered. It's not really going to last as we continue through the evening. Just a quick DOT camera here. This is US 52 at US 63 in Rochester. You'll notice cars moving slowly on those partially to fully covered roadways. That's just the reality we have right now, thanks to a lot of the snow moving through. As I mentioned, the heavier bands starting to make their way through Albert Lea there and hanging on to I-90. The heaviest of the snow still continues to the west. That is making its way over our way. Sky Tracker 3 will have that story, of course. Now, as we get into the overnight hours on Saturday, still seeing the snowfall finally starting to lighten up just a little bit here at around 2 a.m. By 5 a.m., a lot of that activity has moved out. And by 6 a.m., that's when the winter weather advisory expires. And as we approach into the afternoon, ultimately around lunchtime, we finally start to see the sunshine back. Now, I'm happy to say the sun will be sticking around as we wake up on Sunday, heading to church or what have you, whatever plans we do have on Sunday. But the snow is still going to be around. In fact, we're looking at around 2 to 3 inches once all is said and done. Gets a little heavier the further south you go. Current temperatures right now all below that freezing point. However, they haven't fluctuated much. 28 in Rochester, 28 in Austin as well. So let's wrap it up real quick. What to expect? Well, we've got the steady snow continuing overnight. It'll be wrapping up early on Saturday, but the road conditions will remain very poor. 7-day forecast now where the weekend is always in view. Notice that we're staying below that freezing point coming on into next week. The snow will be sticking around, but hopefully start to disappear as we head on into Thanksgiving. Get to enjoy a bit of that sunshine. Now, I know Thanksgiving's still a long way away. We're focusing on the snowstorm. North Iowa seeing about as much snow as we are. Isn't that right, Tyler?
That's absolutely right, Sarah. Here's some video from earlier today in North Iowa. That snow starting to come down really has over the last couple of hours, and it has intensified quite a bit, and that will make traveling very difficult for this evening. Just take a look at our Charles City live eye in the sky, snow coating the roads. You can see the visibilities are reduced as well. Let's get a look at Storm Tracker 3 Doppler radar. And right now, all of us in North Iowa looking at that light to moderate snowfall. It will continue the remainder of the night and into very early tomorrow morning. Visibilities are very low. All of us are under 2 miles. So in addition to the roads not being good, the visibilities are low. That's a bad combination. Temperatures are in the upper 20s to right around 30. Those won't change too much for tonight. Wind isn't very strong at the moment, but it will start to pick up here over the next few hours, around 15 to 20 miles an hour out of the north. That'll be blowing some of that snow around, even through around the noon hour tomorrow before conditions begin to improve. You'll see on Sky Tracker 3 for tonight, snow gets out of here and it will be done snowing by around 6 a.m. That's when that winter weather advisory does get canceled, but the wind will linger through around the noon hour. Clouds clear out and it will leave us very cool for Saturday night and into Sunday. When all is said and done, we are looking at around 3 to 5 inches of snow in North Iowa. Next 7 days with the weekends always in view. Cooler weekend ahead, clouds clearing Saturday night, and look at the road to Thanksgiving. We get right back into the low 40s with some sunshine on the horizon. Katie?
And we have another live look at road conditions right now. KIMT News 3's Brooke McKivergan is in Storm Tracker 3. Brooke, what's it like out there?
Well, Katie, I'm driving on Highway 14 West, where, as you can see, the conditions are not great. Some of these roads are partially, even fully covered. I was recently on Highway 52 South, and I can confidently say headed west. Definitely worse conditions than they were headed south. A few important reminders for you as you head out on the roads tonight. MnDOT says when it snows, you should have your headlights on even if it's daytime. And the Minnesota State Patrol wants everyone to remember that you should increase your distance when you're driving on the freeway, and of course leave yourself plenty of time to get to where you're going. Reporting live, Brooke McKivergan, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Brooke. And to keep up on the road conditions where you are tonight, head to KIMT.com for the latest.
The holiday season sometimes has a way of creeping up on us. We've all been there, driving into work on a mid-November morning, thinking about Thanksgiving plans when you turn on the radio and boom, there it is. Christmas music. Well, according to doctors, how you react to early Christmas tunes has a lot to do with how your brain associates with the holiday season. Experts say that people who have childhood memories of great holidays full of celebration and good feelings often get excited about the early tunes. On the flip side, if someone has difficult memories associated with the holidays, hearing music that is associated with this time of year may bring back some not so pleasant feelings.
If it starts too soon and people tend to have stress responses to the holidays, it activates those stress responses early to shop, to produce a perfect holiday. If people are prone to that perfectionism, hearing Christmas music too soon can create those associations and ramp up the tension well before anything is really happening.
In fact, one poll shows that almost 25% of Americans say the most stress-inducing part about the holidays is listening to the music. Suicide rates are surging for U.S. workers. According to the CDC, rates have increased more than 30% since the year 2000. Research shows the highest suicide rates were among male workers in construction and extraction industries, including mining. For women, it's workers in the arts, design, entertainment, sports, and media. Could sucking on your baby's pacifier to clean it actually prevent allergies? A new study shows mothers who did that had children with lower levels of an antibody related to allergies. Researchers in Detroit say the transfer of health-promoting bacteria may be a factor. In Studio 3, Amy Fleming, KIMT News 3.
We're taking a look at how math, science, engineering, and technology is having an impact at the collegiate level in a second-grade classroom in Stewartville. It's no secret Rochester is growing, and AT&T is looking to invest in the city's future by giving scholarships to students at Rochester Community and Technical College. Nearly $15,000 will go to 14 students in science, technology, engineering, math, or entrepreneurial-related items, otherwise known as STEM. AT&T has invested more than $400 million in STEM education and job training. According to a federal Department of Education survey, 94% of public school teachers pay for school supplies out of pocket without reimbursement. But one lucky Stewartville teacher is getting a grant. Paige Brandt teaches second grade at Bonner Elementary. She received a generous grant from IBM volunteers to buy We Do Lego kits for her classroom. The Legos incorporate math and engineering to teach students technical skills. Brandt tells KIMT she's grateful since she has bought school supplies for her classroom in the past. The Lego kits cost about $190 each. The Byron Bears girls basketball team is trying to rebuild after a great season. We'll preview them next in sports.
Well, just last season, the Byron Bears girls basketball team went to their first ever Minnesota State tournament. Tonight, we preview a Bears team looking to replace some key pieces. In case you didn't know, the Byron Bears girls basketball team had a pretty good season last year.
Unbelievable. It was just so fun.
That's how the team describes last year. But head coach Darren Nelson says 2018 is a whole new challenge.
We'll be real young this year, and it's going to be a kind of a bumpy road as those kids get experience and start playing minutes.
Bears are coming off their first state tournament in school history. Many players have since graduated, including star Ayoka Lee, who received a scholarship to Kansas State.
We're going to have kids step up, rebound, and do all those things to fill those shoes.
Senior Lexi Glynn looks to lead the Bears offense. She was second on the team in points per game last season and says she looks forward to being a leader on the team.
It means a lot to me that I know that people are looking up to me all the time, and being a leader and just showing good positivity and just keeping a positive attitude throughout every game and in practice.
Though Byron hopes to defend their section championship, it won't be easy. But Glynn says if the team is positive, they'll be fine this season.
We just keep a positive attitude throughout the whole game and just keep playing our game and always working hard and being very coachable. I think that our whole team will take over their spots pretty well.
John Marshall girls taking on Minneapolis Coop. Coop rifles a shot here, but it's saved by the JM goalie. Novas grab a quick goal here. The slap shot is redirected by Ava Miller and is there to put the loose puck in. Marshall down 1. Then it's Erica Leisky who roofs it top shelf. What a nice goal here. And Coop is up 2-0 in the first period. And now gonna be some nice playing left and right here. And there's a one-timer by Lydia Peterson. Rockets can't escape the deficit. They fall 12-3. And the undefeated Hawkeyes taking on UConn in the 2K Empire Classic. Their offense looked good tonight. The big man Luke Garza drains the three-pointer. The three-pointer had been the staple of this offense. A quick couple passes finds Isaiah Moss for another 3. And Iowa shot 51% from the floor tonight. And this one here epitomizes the Hawkeye offense tonight. The pass inside finds Connor McCaffrey. He slams it home as Iowa never looked back after taking a huge lead throughout the night. They defeat UConn 91-72. They improved to 4-0 on the season. Well, Sarah, I had to go to hockey tonight, and the roads, they weren't pretty good tonight.
No, not at all. We've got that snow just continuing to move on through. And, you know, when all is said and done, which is going to end early on Saturday, we're looking at around 2 to 5 inches of that fresh snowfall. So the roads are not going to be nice. But Thanksgiving, looking great.
Wonderful. It's going to warm up a little bit. Be nice for traveling.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. And thank you for making us your choice for news. We'll see you back here for KIMT News 3 at 6 on the weekends. Have a great rest of your night and stay safe.